tabletop DMs out there, be honest, how many times has this happened? You approach the city gates, all is quiet, a single guard stands watch. As you walk past, what's the guard up to? He's just a guard. As you approach, I want to go and talk to the guard. Okay, you approach the guard. He says, adventurers, you'll best get inside. The nobleman will want to see any newcomers. Pray, noble sir, I would like to know more about the faithful companions who watch over this town. What is your name? Not that it's any of your business. My name is Chard. His name's Chard the Guard. And tell me, Sir Chard, what do you enjoy partaking in when your shift finishes? I like to eat gourd. You're Chard the Guard who eats gourds. Now, don't get me wrong, part of the fun, quite a big part of the fun of being a DM is rolling with the punches and seeing where your player characters take you. But sometimes their inquisitiveness can take you down paths that you weren't ready for at all. And whilst coming up with answers to those questions off the cuff is what makes a great DM, there's nothing wrong with having some aces up your sleeve. That's where Roll and Play, the Game Master's fantasy toolkit, comes in. So Roll and Play is basically a compendium of dice tables that are going to help you fill out some of the world building gaps you might need to come up with off the cuff. It's produced by Roll and Play Press. It was a Kickstarter originally, actually. Now it's available to purchase from all your friendly local game stores, including ourselves. You can see a link for that in the description. It's broken down into 5 major chapters: people and quests, world building, journeys and events, combat and injuries, and items and rewards. I've certainly had the most use out of the peoples and quests and the world building sections, but there's a little bit for everyone in here. Starting off with some really useful character name tables. These are great when you're asked to throw together an NPC that you weren't expecting to and stops them all being called Dave. And then it also comes with lots of behavioural details and physical features too. These are all dice tables, so you can take the dice that it recommends at the bottom of the page and roll that to give you a random one, or personally I more use it just as a reference point. I'll go through and something will jump out at me. There's reasons perhaps why your characters are doing things, and this is a really useful one. I use this a lot. Jobs that your characters can have, so no longer are my villager NPCs just villagers. Suddenly one of them might be a roofer, one of them might work at the fishmongers. One could be a chiseler who makes statues. I imagine chiseler isn't the right word, but you know what I mean. Another useful one is names for organisations. A couple of quick dice rolls will give your Thieves Society the name of the Empty Mask. Local attractions and town crier news are useful as well, and probably the one thing I've used the most in here is the section on taverns. Picture the scene. You walk into a tavern. What does it look like? It's wood and stone. There's a fire in the corner with a deer's head above it. There's a surly old gentleman stood at the bar spitting into a glass and giving it a wipe. Why does it look like this? Because all taverns look like this. There's a great section in this for really making your taverns individual, giving you games that you can play in the taverns, giving you specific things that may happen in them or what they look like or smell like. And all of these little things will really make the place seem less of just a quest hub, less of a place where your PCs are going just to find what's next, and actually somewhere that they will start to think of as a home base sort of place they are looking forward to going back to. They want to go and speak to the barkeep there. They want to go and wind up the surly gentleman who's always sat by the door with a wooden leg and a wooden eye. All these sort of things are what elevate your game into more than just a dungeon crawler with little bits in between. There's loads of options for what might happen if you get a critical hit. This isn't something we personally play with in our games, but it seems like it might be lots of fun. And then finally, there is a pile of different items that people can find out of stuff. And this is a really great thing. It's not just cool items, useful things like spells or magical weapons. There's loads of random little ancillary items in here that you can pull from. For instance, you could say that in a bag of goodies they find a book named How to Capture a Secret, and if the PCs push forward and think it sounds interesting, they might start asking around this book, and you've instantly got your next sort of arc of your campaign starting out for you there. Interior loot, look, 3 wooden spoons of different sizes and designs. It sounds like something so little, but your PCs can really start to run away with these little fragments of information that you give them, because they don't know that they've come from something like this in short time. They think it may well be the start of an epic new story. For instance, in one of the campaigns I'm playing in as a PC currently, we found a cat on the side of the road who we took with us, and it turns out this cat is a shape-shifted human who is stuck in cat form, and All of this came from a random encounter table that our DM rolled to give us something to do on the way to our main task, and because we became so invested with this cat, it's now become this sort of mini little side arc along our journey. All these little things are great, and sometimes it's really tricky for these to come up with, so it's a great way of being able to come up with stuff. It's ring bound, so it can sit open in front of the screen or just behind your DM table or what have you. Really great little book, a really great price point, and very, very useful. Thanks for watching. I really have found this to be a great resource, not only for off-the-cuff moments where I've got to come up with a fully fledged NPC in moments, but also giving me that push-off when I've had some of that writer's block that we're all going to get from time to time. It's a great price point, really well put together. I would really recommend every DM pick one of these up and have it in their library. There's a link in the description to where you can pick one of these up. In doing so, you'll be supporting the channel. Thanks for watching. Until next time, make sure you've hit subscribe for more from the Game Chamber.